My first ever Edinburgh Derby was at Tynecastle when it was the last game of the season under Alec McLeish, and Hearts had to win to get into Europe, and Hibs had nothing to play for, but just up for the championship. And Alec McLeish told me the night before I'd never started a game for Hibs, and he said, "Tam, you're starting tomorrow." Wow. And I was up staring at the ceiling till about 12 o'clock the next day. He shouldn't have told me. But anyway, I played right wing. I played against Gary Naismith, and I played really well. It was live in the telly, and I get man of the match. And I remember before the game, it was John Hughes and Pat McGinley. It was their last game for Hibs, and it was particularly Yogi, who was the captain of the club at the time. He got me, he grabbed me before the game. He says, "See if you hide out here. See if you bottle it out here. You're going to see me after the game." He says, "So you better go out and do what you've been doing in training all week, and don't hide, and don't bottle it." And I didn't. I went out and got on the ball. And that was Yogi's last game for Hibs in my first one. But that was. I've got a funny
feeling I was in the press box for that game, Tom. And I do remember it. And I thought you were sensational that day, if you don't mind my saying.
Aye, I played right wing against Gary Naismith, and Gary Naismith, I think, went to Everton in the summer, and I caused him a few problems. But no, that was a good Hearts team as well under Jim Jeffries. I think Gary Meeks-Wigan scored a couple of goals, and but I set up the goal for Hibs. And it was just great because I remember my first taste in Edinburgh Derby, and 2 minutes into the game, Darren Jackson walloped me, put me into the gravel at the side of the park. Then in another 2 minutes after that, Colin Cameron came here, whacked me as well, and then Lee Mako. I think they all just thought, right, we'll have one each on this young buck, and they all came here and took turns and put me into the crowd. But that was because I was taking too many touches. So you soon learn in an Edinburgh Derby. You take more than 2 or 3 touches, you're getting wiped out. And after that, I kind of sped the play up. But brilliant atmosphere. My worst memory is the 4-each game where I scored my one and only Derby goal. Come off at 4-2 up, kissing the badge to the Hibs fans away from home. 90 minutes, 4-2 up. I'm thinking, we've surely won the game. And I was planning my night out in Edinburgh. It was just after New Year, and Bobby Williamson had never won a derby, and he says, "Listen, boys, you win this tonight, you've got 4 days off." So I can remember me and Gary O'Connor, Derek Ireland, Grant Brebner all planning my night out, and Graham Weir came on and absolutely made a name for himself. Scored in the 93rd minute, 95th minute, and we drew 4 each. And I don't know, that was maybe 23 years ago, and I still think about that all the time. I think about how we managed not to win that game. So yeah, there's been some highs and lows certainly. And then I remember beating Hearts with 10 men when Gary O'Connor scored in the last minute. Easter Road with 10 men for an hour, and we won 1-0. So it's a brilliant game to be involved in. The atmosphere's always brilliant.
In the comments, Jambo Stew says, "I've got dents in my shin from the 4-4 game." And Pete writes in saying, "What a hero Tam is, great pundit. The Hotline Live's best signing of the season."
I didn't know my dad had that many burner accounts.
We've got some on the actual football as well. Green Machine says, "The occasion and what it means to Hearts will make the game high octane with a couple of red cards and VAR getting rebooted. It will be red hot." Gordon's
I hope no.
I know.
Gordon says it will be, Tom. I think he's right. I think that comment's spot on. I think it'll be absolute fireworks.
Aye.
I think with so much on this, the intensity, the atmosphere inside the stadium is going to be electric. Hearts have got everything to play for. Hibs can't take a backward step. I think there's a potential for red cards, goals, just all-round general mayhem.
And Rebel in the comment says, "Tam looks like a condemned man. Hearts are aging him."
He's right. He's right. He or she is right.
John,
it's been a worry, by the way. It's been a worry for the last 28 weeks.
John wants to know if you're immigrating, Tam, if Hearts do pull this off.
Well, I've got to wear a full heart strip, and that's me ruined. I mean, I don't know how I come back for that, to be honest with you. That is going to get pulled up every single time I ever see it in social media. There's one that the Dundee United fans like. It's when I get relegated to Dundee and I'm on my hands and knees crying when I'm playing for Dundee, and the Dundee United fans send me that on a weekly basis. I can only imagine me wearing a full heart strip, what's going to happen on social media when I'm out and about in Edinburgh. So I'm praying for anyone bar Hearts.
You sound serious though that you will deliver on your promise.
Oh, Oh, I can't. I need to. It's on tape. It's been recorded, and I can't get out of it. So I've already spoke to Scott Wilson through at Hearts, and he's going to try and get me a discount because I was on the Hearts when Hearts won. When Hearts won, beat Motherwell. I went on, had a wee look on the Hearts Superstore to look at the prices. It's going to cost me a ton plus and all.
That's the thing, it's no cheap.
Disaster.
That's good. I'm trying to get you a discount. That's really nice. And
I was just get McManus oops on the back.
Before we lost Ryan, I was going to say to him, Peter says, get Ryan to wear a Hibs top. If Hearts don't win the league, I'll maybe put that to him when he's signaling.
That's why his line went bad. By the way, he has been in touch. I don't think. I think that's his. The technology's packed in there. So thanks very much, Ryan, for joining us for that. What's your prediction? Yeah, I mean, look, excuse the pun, but heart of heart stuff here. What do you think? What do you expect the scoreline to be at the weekend, Tim?
0-0 wouldn't surprise me.
Really? Complete opposite what I just said there.
0-0 and loads of cards and mentalness, aye. But I don't know. It's going to be one of them. I don't think it's going to be a good game.
Are you going, Tim? Will you be at the game?
I'm going to the game. I'm going to the game. I'm going to the game. I'm going through with Peter. So I'm getting through to the game. I hope it's 5:40 Hibs. I hope it's a great game for the neutral. But it's one of the games where you don't want to make a mistake. And I played in high pressure games like that where you don't want to be the one that makes a mistake and it ends up the ball's a hot toddy. You clear it away for your goal. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a great game, but I think it's going to be tight. Maybe 1-0 either way or a 0-0. But I can't see loads of goals in it.
I've just got this feeling, Tom, and look, it could come down to this. I just think if there's an early goal, it's mayhem. But you're right. See, the longer it goes, 0-0, and it becomes cagey. People start going into their shells, as you said. You don't want to make a mistake. But if somebody gets an early goal in this game, the other side's going to have to go hell for leather, and I think that's what we'll get.
I think in any derby game, if you get an early goal, it usually leads to more. I think because other teams go to chase it a wee bit.
Yeah.
But you're right. When I've played in games with Hearts, Hibs, and you're 0-0 or one each with 20 minutes to go, you think, right, don't get beat. Don't get beat. It's all right if we draw. It's fine. Don't get beat now. And that both teams could maybe think that way. I don't think a point's a disaster for Hearts. No. I don't think a point's a disaster for Hearts. I think if they can come out of this and get a point, they're still in it. So it remains to be seen. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's 5-4 Hibs.
What's your prediction, Keith? How do you think it will go?
God,
I know you've seen a lot of goals and all that, but
I do. I'm going to go, and I'm sorry, Tom, but I'm going to go 3-2 Hearts.
Wow.
A reverse of the scoreline in the end of December there. But I'm basing that on the fact that I do expect there to be chances. I do expect it to get quite open because I do expect it to be an early goal in a game. And I think if you're in a game and teams are creating chances, I think when your attack is spearheaded by Braga and Shankland, I keep coming back to it. It's the players, it's the quality, that's what makes the difference. That's what's kept Hearts at the top of the league all the way through it. It's not been by accident. They've
got as well,
quality
Keith,
players.
Their home form. Hearts, I don't think away from home this season, Hearts have not been great.
That's true.
I think that's where Hibs can get at them, and I think Hibs will take confidence from the way they played against them at Christmas, where they won 3-2. I think that flattered Hearts, to be honest with you. So Hearts have been away from home. They've not been great. They've not created a lot. They've not scored a lot of goals. And if Hibs get the early goal, Hearts have got to come out. I expect Martin Boyd to play. I know he's been in and out of the team. I think he'll play. I think where he can get at Hearts is pace. Aye.
Yeah.
I think the boy Elding's quick as well. I think that David Gray will go with the two up front, and I think they'll try and get down the sides of Hearts and use the pace of those two, and see how it goes. But if Hibs get an early goal, I think that opens the game up rather than Hearts getting the early goal.
And Rebel does point out, Keith, that Magnuson and McEntee are obviously out for Hearts. big players at set pieces.
Listen, there's huge, but as I said, Hearts managed to keep this thing on track. They've stayed at the top of the league despite being without two players that are of more significance to the starting 11 in Shankland and Cammy Devlin. So yeah, look, it's this stage of the season. People are going to get injuries. Hearts have been a little bit unlucky over the last wee while. But I think all things being equal, if you were going into 5, 6, 7 games, whatever it was, without Cammy Devlin and Lon Shankland, I think you can accommodate these losses a little bit more easily than you could have accommodated these two players.